We flew to the moon. I mean, we used technology to fly to the moon. It wasn't great technology compared to today's
I don't believe that.
standards.
I'm a person who totally does not believe that we ever went to the moon, and that whole thing was completely fictional. It was all...
So you're one who subscribes to the belief that we never landed on the moon.
Right. I think we've landed probes on it, unmanned probes, certainly. I believe we've even gone up there to certain heights. I do believe that, as I've said, that we've had technology, sort of spacecraft type things that can go up there. But landing on the moon in the way that was portrayed to us with these Apollo missions, absolutely not. In fact, I've done a lot of work on that. In the DVD, I cover that on Atlantis, that it's impossible, certainly in the crafts that they've shown us, in the shuttle crafts with the thin walls, to pass through those radiation belts. I have information on that, and no, I'm convinced, in fact, of it. And there's also been a very long set of tapes. It's at least 4-hour show called What Happened on the Way to the Moon, which is widely available. There's also a book that came out, which is by top scientists, called Dark Moon. It's available, it only came out last year, I think, called Dark Moon. There's a book by a man who worked for NASA called Moon Gate, which goes into it. So I have a whole list of sources that are written by insiders. Again, very people in the highest echelons of the NASA project, who also now confirm these are whistleblowers to see who.
So then, what did then Buzz Aldrin plant the flag on?
See, these individuals they were imagining that they were there. A lot of these people were under either mind control or they were complicit in this act, performing the ritual. Now, once you have now presented this act to the world, you have to go through the motions, right? I mean, recently there was even evidence on the web that showed that some of the photography that was taken could not possibly have been on the moon from a photographic standpoint. I mean, this is a whole other subject we're getting into.
Yeah,
I'm not the expert on it, right? But
sure.
There are people who are experts on photography who know that the shadows and the alignments and, the crosshairs just couldn't be factual of the landing on the moon. It's preposterous. And if you start getting into it, you'll find that that's true. The most thing that interests me is the concept of the radiation belts that exist up there. And
you mean around the moon?
Yeah, before that, the radiation belts of the stratosphere and the ionosphere, to penetrate those in crafts like what we have is not, in fact, possible.
Yeah, but we've filmed flying over the moon.
So we've made, we've also made the movie Stargate and Terminator 2 and all of these incredible movies which you can duplicate anything now. And to imagine that Industrial Light and Magic and Steven Spielberg are the first people to have access to that kind of technology is nonsense.
Okay, so now this is where you're possibly losing me a little bit, because so then has any manned mission outside of the Earth's atmosphere then is not a reality? Is that what you're saying?
I'm thinking that when I've looked into this, I think that they have a way to fly up there to a certain height. But I don't think they're able to penetrate the ionosphere and go up to the moon if they're manned. And that's why I believe there's a lot of emphasis on cloning now, on cyborgs, on virtual reality, of trying to maybe create robotoid beings that can go and do that. I even believe that in the paranormal movement, the idea of the little grey, they're very famous, with the big bug eyes and and the very slow walking. I actually believe that those are also what I'm talking about. They're maybe semi-organic, but they're actually computeroid. I think they're controlled by people on the Earth. They're put out there for disinformation purposes, and based on the way that they react when they are seen, I believe they're remote control type beings. So I believe there's experimentation in Area 51 to try and make a kind of a hybrid, semi-organic computer type robotoid individual that might be able to go and do certain work in an advanced way on the moon. But nobody has been there, nobody has been beyond it, because if they had gone to the moon, they would have not gone beyond that. By now, they would have already had a manned mission to Mars.